Hey guys, Jay here. Welcome to day number 4 of the 7-day guitar challenge. You're doing so awesome. Today we're going to start with something just a little bit more chill, just to take the load off, so to speak. We've covered heaps in the last 3 lessons. Again, if you like what I do, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, if you would like a hard copy of all the notes that I've been through in the 7-day course, there's a link below in the description. Just click on that and you can download a PDF of everything that I've covered. Alright, straight into it. So the first song today I want to show you is Smoke on the Water, and then we're going to learn about chords and chord changes like I said in the last lesson. So this is a super easy little kind of ditty, you know, Smoke on the Water, right? It's a super cool little tune and kind of where every guitarist starts. We're going to play this today with one finger, so keeping it really simple. We're going to start with a low E string, okay? So I've got my hand, of course, on the pivot because I'm playing only a single string. Really confident now on that low E string. You're sounding great. We're going to do this all with one finger to start with. As you get better, you can do it with other fingers, but just to keep it simple today, we're going to start on that low E string, and then with my first finger, I'm going to play the 3rd fret on that low E string. Now again, we want to keep that finger right up to the fret. Remember, the closer to the middle, the harder you have to push. We don't want to have to push hard. We want to keep it really simple, really easy. So first finger right up to that fret, keeping the thumb in the center of the back of the neck there. Here we go. Starting with that low E, we're going to go here. Then I'm going to go up to the 5th fret. So I can basically kind of follow the dots on the guitar fretboard here. You've got open, and then you'll notice on the side there, you've got a dot on the 3rd and the 5th. If you've got a nylon string guitar, you might not have those dots there, so you might actually have to get some whiteout. In Australia, we call it liquid paper. In the States, whiteout, right? And put a little dot there on that 3rd fret and that 5th fret. That's a really helping hand to assist you to know where you are, but most guitars have them, but some cheaper acoustic guitars don't have them. Anyway, back to Smoke on the Water. The whole song goes like this. Open, then 3rd, then 5th. Again, all on the low E string. The next part goes open, 3rd, and then to the 6th fret, and then back to the 5th. Now that last bit, the 6th and the 5th, is quite fast, okay? That can be quite challenging as a beginner guitarist. So again, from the beginning, we've got open, then 3rd, and then 5th. The second bit goes open, 3, then 6, 5. The next section goes open, 3, 5, and the last bit goes 3 and then open. That's it. That's like the whole song, okay? And this is the simple way to play it. So the actual song is on the middle 2 strings. I won't go into the details. Let's just play the simple way. All right, here we go again. Try it with me. So open, 3, 5. Then open, 3, 6, 5. Next bit, open, 3, 5, then 3, and open. Good job, well done. All right, let's try the whole thing. So we got open, 3, 5, then open, 3, 6, 5. Then open, 3, 5, and 3, open. Now if I put that in context and play out how the song goes, it's then. Okay, one more time. Da da ba 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 da ba ba da da. There's a little song for your repertoire, okay? You can have a bit of fun practicing that this week. In the last lesson, we learned the E chord. The E chord, just to refresh, was the one that looked like this. I had my first finger down here on the 1st fret of the G string, my second finger here on the 2nd fret of the A string, and my 3rd finger was snuck right under here behind the 2nd fret of the D string, and with my pick, all 6 strings. And again with that left hand, just trying to do that extra bit to get that thumb down a little bit, to get those high on those strings, getting right up on those fingertips, fingers right up to the frets, etc. Now, the new chord we're going to learn today is a G chord. I'll start with my first finger again. So first finger is going to be on the 2nd fret of the A string. So first finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. Now my middle finger is going to be on the 3rd fret of the low E string. So middle finger now on the 3rd fret of the low E string. And my 3rd finger up here is going to be up there on the 3rd fret of the high E string. So it looks just like that, okay? With my right hand again, I'm playing all 6 strings. Again, if your thumb's up here, it's going to sound more like this or something like that. We just want to try and get that thumb down a little bit. Again, you can see that action and how that allows me to get those fingers sitting up a lot higher as opposed to being flat like that. So we're trying to get the fingertips. Again, just to explain that, I've got my first finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. My second finger, middle finger, is on the 3rd fret of the low E string, and my 3rd finger is up there on the 3rd fret of the high E string, and with my pick, all 6 strings. So where a lot of my students struggle is changing between chords, and today we're going to talk about going from the E chord to the G chord. So you're quite familiar now with the E chord and now adding this new chord. People often will learn a lot of chords and not really learn any of them that well. That's a problem. My advice is to learn 2 chords really well. That way you'll never forget the names of them and you'll be able to change super quickly between them after a few days practice. Then add more chords on, which we can do in the next lessons. So let's try that. We're going to start with that E chord again. First finger on that 1st fret of the G string, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the A, and 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. Now what we're going to do is go to the G chord. So let's go. First finger now on the 2nd fret of the A string, 2nd finger there on the low E, and 3rd finger up there on the high E, and all 6 strings. That might take a little while to build. Okay. Back to the E chord. Now, in time, all these fingers are going to move together. They're going to like leave and land at the same time. But for starters, you pretty much have to build one note at a time to form the entire chord. And I usually recommend to start on the 1st finger, 2nd, and then 3rd on the E chord, okay? Back to the G chord, we're going to go 1st finger, 2nd on the 3rd fret of the low E, and the 3rd finger up there on the 3rd fret of the high E. Now notice with that G chord, if you look at that middle finger there, okay, that middle finger's on that 3rd fret of the low E, and the 3rd finger's up there on the 3rd fret of the high E string. Notice when they go to the E chord, they actually move, kind of, you can move them together to go both behind that 2nd fret on the A and the D string. Then when they go to G, they go out like this, okay, out to there, and then back to here, back to here. So that's something to remember. On the 1st finger, if I look at the 1st finger on the E chord, it goes from here to here, to here, to here. Now, often learning those chords in those ways and breaking those fingers down into those little itty-bitty pieces can really help speed up the learning curve. Everyone's brain works differently, so you got to do what's right for you. But just getting used to those chords and just taking your time to look at those chord pictures and get them right. Now, the next thing I like to do is begin to play those chords in time. There's nothing worse than a musician who can't play in time, and the easiest way to do this is to play 2 chords and practice them with a beat. Now, often I'll put on a metronome at 60 beats per minute, which is like seconds on a clock, 60 seconds in a minute, so 60 beats per minute. A metronome is the device that goes tick tock and it keeps time, right? So today I'm going to be your metronome and I'm going to ask you to play along with me at 60 beats per minute. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to start with that E chord. Now if this is too hard, that's cool, you can practice in your own time and come back to this after you've had maybe an hour or 2 to practice, or a few days, whatever you need. But I'm going to ask you to play the E, and then I'm going to count 4. I'm going to go like this: 1, 2, 3, and I want you to change 4 and try and get the G on the 1, 2, then I'm going to go back to E, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, then we're going to change back to G, 4, and 1. Now that again might be too quick for you, so I'll do it a little bit slower to start with, but let's try it. So let's start with your E chord. Get your E chord all ready to go. Let's see how we go. So build that E chord, and now what I'm trying to do is get your brain, after you've built that E chord, get your brain starting to think about the next chord that's coming, that G chord. And that's what this exercise is all about, to put on a little bit of pressure and get you moving forward, okay? So here's that E chord. I'll count you in. Let's get ready to play it. You ready? And next is G, so getting ready for that. Okay, let's play that E. So I'll count you in, 4, and here we go. E, 1, 2, getting ready for the G, 3, 4, now play on the 1. 1, good, 2, back to the E, 3, 4, now on the 1. Here we go. E, 1, back to the G, 2, 3, 4, and G. 1, 2, back to E, 3, 4, and 1, 2, last time, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 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 3, 4, and 1 4 to G, and 1. Now what I'm going to start doing is speeding that up, and each time we speed it up it gets harder and harder, right? Now at first just playing at that tempo can be very challenging, so take as long as you need to take to get it at that speed, but now I'm going to start to speed it up. And if you can't do this today, keep practicing it for a few days and come back to this part of the video and see how fast you can get it. Okay, let's try it together. So back to the E chord, here we go. 1, 2, 3 to G, 4, and 1, 2 back to E, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and G, 2, 3, a bit fast now, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 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 4, and 1. Well done. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. If that's too fast, slow it down a bit. Otherwise, you can keep trying to speed it up. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And we just get faster and faster until it's like second nature, okay? So that's a really amazing technique to practice. When you're practicing this in the beginning, don't feel like you have to hold the chord for the full duration of the 4 beats. The idea is you play the chord and then you start transitioning to the next chord straight away. So you're always thinking forward and getting ready for what's coming next. As you get better at it, definitely I want you to hold that chord for the full duration of the 4 beats. For now, as soon as you play the chord, you start moving to the next chord, okay? And that's the easiest way to learn chords. Well done, okay? So after you do this for a few days, you're never going to forget E and G ever again. In the next lesson, I've got some new chords for you. We're going to add on to that and another really cool new riff. Thank you so much. Again, if you like what I do, please like this, subscribe to my channel, and feel free to check out my courses at jayhoad.org. Thank you so much. See you soon.